So no one told you life was going to be this way. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue B-Sides. My name is Matthew Keel. I'm Infinite_Rewind on social media. Alongside me is at Sven on social media. The Moose.
Yeah.
The Mouth from the South.
What's up, party people?
The walking meme.
Yeah.
Or we don't know if he's the meme or the memed, depending on where he's at with his feud with Alan Heinen. But you know,
it's kind of cooled down.
Every time you say that,
I know. I'm not saying he's not listening. I'm just saying. I think it's kind of cooled down. Not that that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just got some memes.
Bit of a ceasefire.
I'm ready to go. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the next couple days.
So Moose and I, before we started the actual B-side, we were rambling and meandering through conversation like we always do, and we didn't have a topic for this, but I actually just thought of one. And I will bring that to you. I'm just being distracted at the moment. That's okay. So I was playing a PS4 earlier today, and I actually got to hang out with Dr. Bloodsouls himself.
Ooh, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And he doesn't have Dark Souls Remastered yet, but he and I were talking about playing it.
Uh-huh.
And I've actually been thinking, it's really weird how I have like a lot of friends that I did not grow up in the same state with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I'm in a position where that's actually really easy because I moved 1,000 miles from home. But even taking that into account, like, because Reba and I were briefly talking about wedding plans, and I was sitting there thinking, I'd like Corey there, I'd like Moose there,
mm-hmm.
I'd like, I started listing people in my head, and in fact, to two people from our main show later this evening for those watching live.
Mm-hmm.
There are two people that I'd like there. But see, I started realizing, I'm like, man, I really care about a lot of people that I did not grow up with, and that's actually a cool thing to have lived through. Now I know that I didn't get into an MMO and develop like a guild or relationships through a guild or anything like that. The closest I ever got to that was playing FIFA, where we would play online team play, where each of us would like pick a position. And I didn't have a full squad of 11, but there was like a squad of like 7 or 8 that were pretty regular every time, and we would go into games as like Matt's on the wing, Carlos and Tim are up front, things like that. And I just wanted to revel in that a little bit, because I think it's a special thing. I mean, look at this. You, Corey, and I, none of us knew each other when we were kids. Yet I feel like if we did, we'd still be friends. I know that you and I met through Platinum Achievements, and we probably interacted in Beyond a little bit. Because I noticed a lot of the people in the Platinum Achievements group did interact with each other in Beyond. And you and I got paired up in a Rocket League tournament, and then both discovered a mutual love of Helldivers. Mm-hmm. And then we infected the rest of the world.
Jesus, we played that. I think 6 to 7, almost 8 months solid. Like, that was all I played.
That was daily.
Like that was like every night, come home, log in, play Helldivers, and that
Yeah.
was it. Like nothing else. Nothing else.
Helldivers get drunk. Helldivers get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we infected the rest of the world with that disease. And then I infected you with the bloodborne disease.
Yeah.
and now here we are. And you know, and we've also brought some wonderful characters on these journeys. Like, you know, we could talk about Captain Canada, which we do regularly.
Yeah.
How far is Corey in Bloodborne? Has he finished it yet or no?
I could have swore he beat it. He's just doing the Chalice dungeons now.
Okay, because I know that I helped him
As far as I know.
with a couple of chalices.
Yeah.
But like we keep trying to get Captain Canada to play co-op with us, but he's just like, no, I gotta talk about my PC hardware.
I know. It's like, come on, Lee. You own one. Fucking play your PS4.
Yeah. We know you have one. Which I saw him pop online today too, and I thought about messaging him. I'm like, I'll bet you it's not him. We also brought, you know, Dom, Uncle J-Bay, through the Helldivers train. He didn't. I don't think that man needs the aggression that Bloodborne would bring out in him. Or maybe he does. I don't know.
He's tried it and he won't play it just because it makes him want to break his controller. So he's like, I want to play it. Like, all right. Like, man, like, I think there's a problem that a lot of people face, and it's getting, like, you play video games to work so hard to, like, get stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the thought of losing stuff makes you angry. And I will admit, when I've played Bloodborne and I've played Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls Remastered, a little bit too, like, I have had parts, like, I've been playing the game and I've gotten extremely frustrated because I'll lose some souls. You know, I'll be like right at about killing a boss and the poison will kill me before I can take that final swing.
Mm-hmm.
Some crap like that. But you know, it's kind of like you have to throw all your expectations for gaming away because they're really coming full circle. Like they're going back to the old school days where it's like hard as hell to play the game. And you just have to realize, I'm going to die a lot. I'm going to lose a lot. I just need to... I'm not going to learn through just simply playing the game, like other games where you just learn, you're like, oh, and you can, like, coast. You actually have to put the work in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to the gym, working out, but then, like, you realize, like, the weights kick your ass and send you home with your tail between your legs. But then, like, in 6 months to a year... You know, you're like,
you've lost
30, 40 pounds lighter, you've gained 20, 40 pounds of muscle, and you know, you're doing good. So it's just, it can be very painful, but it's like,
it can be rewarding too.
Yeah, it's extremely rewarding, you know? So, anyways, that's my take on it.
Yeah, but
yeah, he doesn't, I think he can handle it. Like Captain, like Phillips. You and I have not been in the game with him. It's like if we could get in the game with him, all his anxiety and all his like wanting to kill and destroy stuff, like his controller, like throwing it through a wall, would go away.
Yeah,
he'd have us in there and we'd be helping him out, and you know, I mean, he would run like I'd still be telling him what to like put on and like what gear to use, and you'd be like,
I'm at the boss door.
Yeah, 40 enemies away, being like. You'd be running into the boss door like, I'm ready to go, And it's just like, dude, like, we just got in here.
He's like, no, don't worry about that. I took care of all that. That's done.
Yeah.
This is the fun part. Watch me die at the boss. But no, I was just thinking about that on the way downstairs, and I'm like, man, like I've been friends with Ahmed for 6 years now. Like, he's been with me through some life changes. Like, I met him before I graduated X-ray school. I met him before I was, like, working in healthcare. And he was always trying to be a doctor. So like, we shared, you know, we were actually talking about that. We're like, wow. Because, like, he's been engaged for a little over a year. I think almost 2. I think they're waiting till like they're in a stable place, not like emotionally, but like actually able to stay in the same place together before they actually start putting the rubber to the road on that one.
Right, put their life together.
Right, and it's funny. Like he and I were talking, and Reba was sitting next to me. She's like, How do you guys maintain that?" And he's like, "Well, it's easier now than it would have been like years ago because they can video chat. Sure, that's not the same, but at least like you can. They set the time aside, and they also had conversations about it. You know, before it happened, they said, "Look, this is This is going to happen. It's probably going to be difficult.
Yeah.
So we need to think about how we're going to deal with that when it comes."
So are they both in the medical field?
Yes,
Okay.
He is aiming. He's actually figuring out his specialty.
Okay.
Right now, like I mean, he's actually out of medical school. He is now. I mean, he was an MD for a while, but now he's like officially done with school.
Okay.
So he's now Dr. Ahmed.
Yep.
Or as I called him today, Doc Ach. And she actually knows where she's going in medical school, like because she's actually going to be a doctor as well. But she's like dead set on her path, and she's not stopping until she gets there. And
right,
good on him.
Right.
But we were talking about that. He's like, he actually asked me, he's like, "Do you remember the first game we played together?" I'm like, "Yes, I remember the first game we played together." He's like, "What was it?" I'm like, "Portal 2. We were both looking for someone to co-op Portal 2 with us for the platinum. Like that was the only trophy either of us had, or either of us had left to get." And we did that. And then I don't remember who struck up the conversation. But I'm like, "So have you ever played the like Dark Souls?" And he's like, and he it was probably me. I probably said it, and he's like, "Yeah, I've played Dark Souls." I go, "Did you like it?" He's like, let me tell you a little bit about me. I've played Dark Souls, I think 16 times. And I just finished doing New Game Plus with a character that I did not level up. I'm like, "Wait, what?" he's like, "Yeah, I like those games." I'm like, "Oh, well, have you played Demon's Souls?"
Just a smidge.
I'm like, "Have you played Demon's Souls?" He's like, "Well, let me tell you a little bit more about me. I've played Demon's Souls even more than I've played Dark Souls." I'm like, "All right, cool. Did you not level up in that one too?" He's like, "Actually, that's impossible. You have to level up in order to get certain places in that game."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, all right. That's cool," because I was actually looking at going for those next. And he's like, "Oh, well, guess what? Are you enjoying playing Portal 2 together? Because we could do that at Dark Souls." I'm like, "Get the hell out of town." He's like, "No, I am staying in town. And if you want,
I will help you.
If you want, I'll stay in town long enough to help you out. Maybe we can, I'm like, "All right, let's do that." And then, we've not really played other games than those together. But I think it's one of those things, like, apart from like, this chucklehead that I'm talking to right now, as well as the chucklehead who is off being a father, as well as the myriad of chuckleheads, we all share in common. There's not many people I would prefer to play Dark Souls with other than Ahmed. And we were talking today, and I'm like, I'm about to get my 100th platinum. I'm going to make Dark Souls my platinum. He's like, "All right, I'm ordering it now. It'll be here in 2 days. I'm coming with you." And I'm like,
"Yeah,
that guy." And it was like, I mean, honestly, it made me feel like, it gave me like the warm and fuzzy feeling that I got when you said, "Yeah, I'm going to come do Extra Life. You want me to pick you up?" I'm like, "Fucking yes, Moose."
Yeah, that was a good time.
That was. We got to do that again.
Yeah, we do.
hopefully this year, maybe this year. I'm not gonna. Hopefully, we'll talk. We'll talk to them about. I mean, but also like I met Ray in Beyond like years before. Like I think before Ray and I actually played a game together. We had interacted a bunch in Beyond for a good 3 years, and we had like been on each other's friends list. And then when he and Becky and Lee started Pawn, I joined because I talked to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, put your PSN ID here so everybody can be friends." Like, and I did, and he's like, "I didn't know we were already friends." I'm like, "Yeah, we've been friends for like 3 years, dude. We're just never playing a game together. It hasn't happened."
Yeah.
And then we played Evolve together, and it was fun playing with him. I have very scarred memories of Evolve because I got the platinum, and that was a grueling platinum.
Okay.
Like you could brag about doing Helldivers, however you did Helldivers. I did Evolve legit, and I will never do anything like that ever again.
Well, Helldivers wasn't like bang your head against the wall like Evolve sounds like it is, or even looks like it is. I've looked at the trophy list, but Helldivers is just time consuming.
Yeah, like that's
I got the 10,000 kills getting 10,000 kills.
Yeah, I got the 10,000, but it was the 100,000.
100,000. No, I got the 100,000 by getting 100,000.
Yeah. Well, I think you were a long way there just because you had played a ton of Helldivers before you and I met.
Yeah, I bought it day one and was playing a shit ton of it. Mm-hmm. And then I think I joined Beyond right before it came out. I was in Beyond before I got my PS4, and so I was in there, and then I think like the group splintered and Platinum Achievements was formed, and I got to talking with Justin, and we were talking. Somebody was talking about Helldivers. It was probably you under Shaniqua. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let's play. And I think I already added you.
Yeah, we were friends.
We were friends. And then you're like, yeah, I'll be on it's infinite_review on it. And I was like, wait a second, that's a picture. I was like, I got thrown for a loop. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? I didn't know the backstory. So I was just like, all right, whatever. And so, the three of us started playing, and we dragged Captain Canada into it. I think our friendship, the three of us, it was like forged in the fires of Helldivers.
we met playing Rocket League because you were already surprised I was on your friends list because you're like, wait a minute.
I was like, oh wait, he's already on here. Okay.
And then when you got in the party with me, you're like, I'm like, hi dude, how you doing? You're like, hi. And then I'm like, okay, so you're probably confused that I sound like this and my name is Shaniqua on Facebook. Let me explain. and then I explain. You're like, yeah, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, no, it is. That's just kind of what I do. And then our friendship was forged in the fires, forged in death in Helldivers. Yeah. In the flames of cooperation. Oh man. So yeah, I thought it'd be cool to just reminisce about that.
Yeah,
it's weird. We've been buddies now for 4 years? You and I?
Yeah. Well, it's more than 4 now. So.
Well, it's like it's like 4 and
developing relationship. Yeah.
I mean, one of these days you'll make an honest Shaniqua out of me, and I'll make an honest Moose out of you. I don't know.
There we go.
Or maybe we'll just die to a tanky boss in Helldivers, and we'll be right with the world.
Would it be hilarious? It would be sad. It would be hilarious if we were like sightseeing in New York and got crushed by a bus. The driver was Frank. I'd just be like, all right, what are you gonna do?
we're both on our way to hell because I don't really see any other way, and we're just like looking at it. We're looking at it. So there's some irony for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
See you in eternal hell.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that's true.
And then you'll be like, "Fucking Frank."
God damn it, Frank.
Any amusing little anecdotes you want to share?
I just want to say that, like, you know, because I agree with you. Like, I'm friends with like a lot of people I didn't grow up with,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel closer to those people than I do the people I grew up with, excluding family. You know, obviously, but it's just like it's just really interesting how you can develop those friendships and relationships. And I mean, you and me and Phillips have an ongoing chat since like that thing. I think is like 4 years old.
Yeah, since like Rocket League and Diablo and Helldivers.
Yeah, we did Helldivers. That's right, we did Helldivers. And then I think we were doing Helldivers, and then we got Phillips hooked on Helldivers. We were doing Diablo, and then we moved him over to Helldivers.
And we're like, dude, you should play Helldivers.
And he's just like this, but playing this. And we're like, we don't know.
We're like, I told you.
Yeah, but it's also interesting. Like, people want to sit there and they want to say, like, oh, you know. When I was thinking of getting a next gen console, I wanted an Xbox One because I was already on the Xbox, and people were like, you know, don't do that, or you know, like go, or they weren't like that. They were just, you know, like PS4 was getting a lot of, you know, good press and stuff, but then when like Microsoft came out with all their stuff, all their shtick, and then Sony came out and was like, we're like, you know, complete opposite of that, and $100 cheaper. I was like, sold. I'm like, I'm getting a PS4. So I started listening to Beyond, you know, to try and stay up on what games would be good to get when I bought one. I bought one, and so like I think also the other thing is like I wasn't in any gaming groups when I was playing my 360 on Facebook. I wasn't in any like gaming groups, and some of the ones I was in were like mainly Xbox. They weren't like Fathers of the Grind or, you know, like Platinum Achievements, where it's kind of like everything, you know what I mean? Where it like covers all, it was just like Xbox. And so, like, I mean, I have played more with my friends on PS4 than I have with my friends on Xbox. And I'm not talking like time-wise. I'm just talking like in the time like I've spent on each ecosystem. Yeah. Like we're like last night, me, Jeff, Jason eventually, because you know he's got a baby, he's got to put to bed, and then me and Justin. The four of us were just chilling in a party last night, hanging out, you know, and just chatting about stuff. Like we're obviously the NGP guys are playing their respective challenge games. So I think Jeff's doing Divinity, Jason was playing Alien, and I was playing Final Fantasy 15, which I'm enjoying. But anyways, so you know, we just sit there and chat and like talk about our days and all that stuff, all that whatnot, and so even if we're not playing together, we're still in a party chatting about stuff. Yeah, you know.
That's how Ahmed and I were today. He was playing. He was playing Dying Light: The Following.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And I do. And I was like, man, I gotta play that. He's like, no. He's like, if you do, let me know. I'm like, yeah, we're never gonna play anything but Dark Souls together. He's like, yeah, I know, but I figured I'd at least throw it out there.
Throw it out there. You know, we'll just toss it out there. Put it up like I tell Philip. So I'm gonna put it on the table. You can pick it up and run with it if you want. You know, it's out there. You know, whatever. So it's just like people who are just like, you know, oh, you should stay in your ecosystem, blah blah blah. It's like, well, I wouldn't have found you and Matt. Wouldn't become friends with you guys. I wouldn't become friends with Justin, Jason, and Jeff. You know, Ray, Lee, like. There's a whole list of people that I wouldn't have become friends with if I would have stayed on Xbox. I mean, I probably would have found them eventually, but I don't think I think it would be different people. It wouldn't have been the same like group because I would have probably stayed in Xbox and then like moved to something, then maybe moved to a group that was just gaming in general and found some people there. But like, you know, Beyond and Platinum Achievements and all that, you know, playing Diablo. Like I love playing Diablo. I hope they announce Diablo 4 this year. That would be awesome.
That might still be too quick.
You think?
Like,
well, I mean, it was what, 10, 12 years between Diablo 2 and 3?
Right, but like how long? I don't remember how long it was between Diablo 1 and 2.
It wasn't that long, dude.
And I feel like if it's that, it's the right time. But I don't know how Blizzard is approaching Diablo as a franchise. I mean, because look at what they're look at the plates they have in the air right now. They have Heroes of the Storm. Sure,
Right.
that's that is the distant third in the MOBA community, but Blizzard still supports the fuck out of it, and people are still playing it. It's not doing League or Dota numbers, but it's doing numbers. Oh, like they also have Overwatch, which ain't going away anytime soon. What was it? 4 years.
4 years, 96 and then 2000.
So yeah, they could feasibly announce it. Well,
Because
they
they
should
announced
this year.
they
Well,
announced.
BlizzCon. When does BlizzCon happen? August?
No, it's October. It's September. It's the fall. It's like I really want to say October, but so Diablo 3 came out in 2012, but the Reaper of Souls edition came out in 2014. But they had Diablo came out. I want to say 2013 on consoles.
It came out a year later.
On consoles, and then the Reaper of Souls was the next year, and I bought it like Christmas. I bought Reaper of Souls Christmas because I was playing Diablo on my Xbox, loved it, and I think I finally just deleted it off my hard drive because my hard drive for my Pro is not as big as the hard drive.
And it's probably full.
Yeah, and it's full because I mean, freaking oh god, Battlefield takes up like 80 to 100 gigs. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So I can't wait like to beat that, and I'm just gonna delete it. But anyway, so I mean, and then Reaper Souls came out, and then now they have they came out with the Rise of the Necromancer pack last year, but they also have like a collector's edition, which I can't remember what they called it. It's like the Ultimate Evil edition or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, so, I remember that.
So like now you can only buy like the Ultimate Evil edition, but I'd like to see them. I think it would be really cool if they like put out like a collection. Like they could put out a collection like of 1, 2, and 3, so that everybody can try 1 and 2 that haven't. Because I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have played 3 that never played the other 2, like myself. Like I've never played 1 or 2, and I don't even know what got me into playing 3. It was probably because I played Borderlands, and people were like, "Oh, well, Diablo is like where it gets its loot system," and I'm like, "Oh." And I looked into it and grabbed a copy and played it. And me and my roommate played the hell out of it because you can co-op it and stuff. But yeah, so I think it would be cool if they announced Diablo 4 this year, even if it's just like, hey, we're working on it. It doesn't have to be like because I mean they could do what Bethesda did with Elder Scrolls 6. Like, hey, it's in the works, and then that's it, and shut up for like until it's ready to be released.
Yeah, I mean, and Blizzard has
satiate the like what the fans want. They want to hear that something's coming because they love the series, and I think they can do it where they can make this next one. It doesn't have to be like World of Warcraft, but it could be like an ongoing platform, like where you buy
I think they're trying to do that.
The expansions you want, and then what you don't want, you don't have to buy.
I think they're doing that, like with the seasons and things. The problem is, I don't think they can come up with enough different content at the same clip they do WoW stuff. And I feel like WoW is still a big horse in their stable.
Oh, it is. It is, and I'm not saying like turn Diablo into like a MMO. I'm just saying like turn it into a platform where like you like. Every year and a half, you can expect to see like a new story, like a new expansion where it's like, okay, well, we're going to flesh out this story over here, or we're going to, you know what I mean? Like flesh out the world a little bit. There's plenty to tell in that world. You know what I mean? There's plenty of stories to tell involving past characters, even the characters in Diablo 3. And you could go and you could be like, play so-and-so's expansion. And this is how, this is how this person got to where they were. Whatever happened, you know what I mean? Like tell the early life of Deckard Cain, Yeah,
let's do that one again. No, well, the one thing I would say that was like a kind of a flaw for me in Diablo 3 is the characters you meet, like not like Deckard and his daughter, or or like the partners that you can recruit.
Yeah.
But like the side stories where you'll come to a person in a town and talk to them, and they'll be like, "Oh, this person has been like this person went there and I couldn't find them, or they've been missing," and you go and it's basically you're just fighting a demon version of that person. But like I feel like they could do more with that stuff and make it more. No, I don't want to say make it more Witcher, but make it like more detailed and more worthwhile, or maybe more lore heavy. I mean, they could do those to make those more important to the stories that they have. But
I'm sure Activision's looking at a way to make money out of the IP, and I'm sure Blizzard's going to try and come up with a way where it's their own way instead of Activision making them do something
instead of loot boxes.
Because I feel like Blizzard has done a pretty good job of keeping the executives at Activision happy to the point where they're not meddling too much. So
well, I think that's also part of their agreement. I bet you when Activision bought Blizzard, Blizzard said, "Hey, we're fucking Blizzard. We're staying fucking Blizzard."
Right. We're not good. Yeah, you can get some of our money, but we're not giving you creative control or whatever. Yeah. So anyways, I think that would be cool. Mm-hmm. But so most importantly, hang out with weird people on the internet and play video games with them. Mm-hmm. You might make a friend or two.
Only hang out with the weird people that don't. Well, I don't want to say don't do weird things because, but hang out with your kind of weird.
Yeah, you'll find people. You'll find people that you get along with and can game with.
Moose, this has been a long, fruitful relationship, and I'm happy it keeps continuing.
Ditto. Very much so, ditto.
All right. That's been a B-side, ladies and gentlemen. You can find B-sides every Friday at noon. Or is it? It's either Thursday or Friday at noon. Yes, I forgot.
He doesn't run this shit.
Yeah, I'm not Corey, and I'm never going to be, and I'm going to quit trying. But you can find us. You can find this on YouTube. It does come out as a podcast. The same day it goes up on YouTube. It's either Thursday at noon or Friday at noon, and it goes up that morning. So as a podcast on whichever podcast service you wanna subscribe to. You want to change it up week to week, you do you. So yeah, this has been NGR Radio B-Sides. I am Infinite_Rewind Matthew Keel, speaking for @Sven Moose Cool.
Yeah.
B-Side Nana and out.